next up is Yael Averbuch and Jodie Taylor. Hi, good to see you again. Welcome to you both.
Thank you. Hi, guys.
I'm going to start with you, Yael, and we've obviously heard this a little bit and seen in interviews, but you followed Vlatko here. What is it about him as a coach and even the city that really made it an obvious choice for you to come here?
Yeah, well, I played for Vlatko for 3 years at FC Kansas City, and I will say that this is one of the places I always hated to come to play. So that was one reason I especially wanted to be here. But yeah, I really respect Vlatko's approach, and I think you guys will see this, and the players in the team are starting to see too. It's a commitment to the process of deciding on a style of play and every day chipping away at that, and that's something that personally I really believe in, and it makes it really enjoyable. So win, lose, all the little ups and downs throughout the season, you never scrap the process and start from scratch. It's always, okay, back to the drawing board, how can we get a little bit better this training session, this week, and then go into the next game and just be that little bit better. And I think for me, that's how I like to personally approach my own relationship with the sport. So it's really nice to have that in the team environment as well.
Awesome. And Jodie, you're coming back to the league after being away for a little bit, coming off a very successful year for both club and country. What have you focused on in the last year that's really put you at the top of your game coming here to Seattle?
I've focused mostly on just being healthy. I was a little unfortunate with a couple injuries back to back, so I think not having an injury, being actually able to focus on performance has probably been the key to it. So yeah, I'm really happy to be here. I actually, all those years ago, I really wanted to come to Seattle Reign, which it never actually worked out before. Probably 3 clubs before I've played here. So yeah, when I actually signed here, I was over the moon.
And you've already talked about hating to play here. You've obviously played against Seattle here. What is it like coming into Memorial Stadium? What is it like to have the fans and the crowd in the field that we can put ourselves in the minds of opponents a little bit?
Yeah, I think for me, it was a combination. Well, first of all, the team always was extremely talented. And I think every team in this league is really good, but Seattle has always been a team that's had absolutely world-class players in every position. And players that, especially as a new defender, players that I was like, I had to show a lot of respect to because I really, you never know what's going to happen. There's just so much creativity and so much intelligence in the play on the field. And then just the stadium and the fan environment, I always found really intimidating. It's kind of like a daunting place to play because you guys create an awesome environment where we as outsiders would feel like, okay, we're stepping into their house. And so I'm looking forward to now being our house because it was never an enjoyable thing to be on the outside of that coming in.
And when I was growing up, I wasn't good enough to be a professional soccer player, but it wasn't necessarily something that young girls thought was a viable career choice. What is the best piece of advice that you two received that really kind of made you believe that this was a career path that you could pursue?
Honestly, I don't think I was ever given any advice that it could be a career or a path to go down. Certainly growing up in England where it's definitely a male-dominant sport and you're almost looked down upon to be playing, but I don't think that ever stopped me. And I probably never knew when I was a little girl that I would actually be in this position now. So obviously I feel very fortunate to be a professional soccer player and playing for the national team, but back then I had no idea there was even a national team. I had no idea that I could even make a career out of it and play at this level. So, yeah.
There's some skeptics out there that I've read about that don't think that the Seattle Reign are going to make the playoffs this year. Why do you think that they're wrong?
Wait, first of all, who are these people?
Not us. Probably nobody here. Some writers or some people who might call themselves soccer experts.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine that anybody who knows the players in this league would look at our roster and our staff and could honestly say that we aren't, in the very top of expectations to be in the playoffs. So I don't know. We'll have to prove them wrong, obviously, but if you have their names, send them over.
I will end with, again, a few fun questions. You're obviously still getting to know the team, but I'm curious if you have any fun superstitions or pregame rituals that you have to do before a match.
Not really. I love coffee, so I have to have a decent coffie. Like, it can't be crappy coffee. Yeah, I'm in a great city for it. It's pretty much why I chose Seattle. That's why I've always wanted to play here. But no, I need a good quality coffee. I think that's about it. Quite simple.
Yeah, mine's kind of food-based too. I just like to sleep in and have like a really big breakfast. I enjoy that in game day, especially because, usually before training, we have to get up a little earlier and it's hard to like really enjoy a big breakfast. So I look forward to finding like a good breakfast spot where I can just eat like tons of food on game day.
And so far, can you answer this question? Who's the best cook on the team? Speaking of, everyone seems to have a food theme going on.
Yeah. Well, we haven't like officially had tryouts for that, but I will say I'm living with Michelle Betos and a couple others, and she has pretty much been my personal chef so far. So she's my vote for #1, but I haven't really had anyone. If anyone else wants to like try out and cook me meals, you're welcome to. But so far, Betos is winning. Oh, we have a volunteer. Oh, okay, thank you. I'll get your card afterwards.
No, nothing yet.
No, I'd say Lou Barnes, possibly, just from playing out in Melbourne with her. I know she's a big vegan and loves to cook, so not that I've tried her food, but I think she likes to cook, so I'm just gonna go with that.
It looks good on Instagram.
It looks good.
It does look good.
She talks a big game, so I trust her.
Well, thank you so much and welcome to Seattle.
Thank you.
Thank you.